Hey, good morning, Atik.
Good morning. How are you?
Right stuff. Yeah, I've been trying to set this up for about half an hour just to get it,
Well, we
like
are
you said.
we are live. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna add Dr. V. Um, so I was just telling the the listeners that Dr. Khurana is on board. So welcome.
There. Hi, Anthony. Hi,
Good
Dr. Atik.
morning. Good morning. Well, it's probably afternoon there where you are.
I'm sorry?
It's afternoon there where you are, right?
No, it's evening now.
Oh, okay. Good.
Yeah.
Where
Good
are
to
you
see
based?
I'm from Delhi.
Delhi. Wonderful. 5.5 hours ahead of GMT.
Yes. Five
Okay,
and a
so
half
I'm just
hours.
going to invite Mary Greensmith. So those tuning into this Insta Live, as I said, this is a special episode with Homeopathy 247, and I have some wonderful guests. But as you know, with Instagram, there's always a bit of a delay because we have to add people in. So just bear with me as I go very straight-faced, as if I'm doing something really, really important, which I actually am. But, it's just odd, isn't it? Seeing somebody tapping away at their phone and being themselves, right? I don't know, the power of observation being a homeopath, eh? Okay, so I'm just trying to find Mary Greensmith, so Homeopathy 247. Hopefully Mary will be able to join us.
I think she's ready. I think she's messaging and ready.
Okay, so I oh, I miss Zoom. What's going on here? This is so funny. There we are. Okay, I found it. I was typing in homeopathy without the extra. Oh, trust me, I was doing it. So I'm just waiting for Mary to join us. The invitation's been sent, but hey, really, really good. Anthony de Pontes is a dear friend of mine in South Africa, and he looks very. Anthony, you're looking very different, very young, very, very. What's the word? Handsome. Not that you weren't before.
I think the last 6 months I've been on a drive to kind of get the balance in life and not just work. And, that saying of all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy. That's what it was like for the last couple of years. And now I'm trying to get the balance going. So it is challenging, from the perspective of a man. You feel like you're designed to work. I'm trying to get the balance of rest and play and work.
It's very important. I think absolutely. What you've done is just brilliant, and we're going to talk about that. And Mary's having some there's just an Instagram technical difficulty here, so we're just waiting for her to join.
Okay.
Dr. V, do I call you Dr. Varsha or Dr. V? Because I think
Whatever is comfortable to you, Dr.
what is comfortable for you?
That's my name, and it's just that it's a bit difficult because it's a typically Indian name. And when my practice went, to the US and UK, then I just wanted my patients to be comfortable calling me something. So I just devised V. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So homeopathy.
Can I ask, where are you based,
I'm
Dr. Atik? Where are you?
just based outside of London.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So
you are cold there now. It's freezing there, right?
Oh God, it's going to be minus in the next few days, so
Yeah.
it's not good for the mind.
That.
It's too cold. It's either too hot or it's too cold.
Mm-hmm.
We're not all as tanned as you, Anthony. my tan is different. I was born with that, but you know what I mean, right? Dr. V, I don't know if you can help me. I think there's a technical. Let me try again. I'm just trying to help Mary come on.
Even I was. I'm just not sure if I should. Yeah, I think she's there.
Yay! Fantastic.
Hi, Mary. Good to see you.
Hello.
Oh, that's a delight, isn't it? Hey, 3 celebrities on one episode of the show. This is brilliant. Couldn't ask for more. Hey, this is a perfect midday in London for me. Talking to 3 very prestigious homeopaths from around the world. So we're covering the UK, of course, with Mary Greensmith. Well, maybe not, but anyway, we're going to get into that. Dr. Varsha from Delhi in India, and of course, Dr. Anthony De Fontes from South Africa. So yes, welcome to this live episode of the Homeopathy Health Show, and we thought that it'd be really nice to get you on and talk about homeopathy 24/7 and what you've all been up to individually as well, and sort of just a way to collaborate and a way to get together, right?
Yeah, it's just this fantastic opportunity, isn't it, for us all just to talk homeopathy all day long with the most magnificent team around the world. We are so lucky, aren't we? Don't we just have the perfect job?
Totally.
Yes, it's not a job, Mary. We just like bubbling over with suggestions and helping people, and we get paid for it. It's what a joy.
It's wonderful,
Yes.
isn't it? Serving humanity. It's wonderful. It absolutely is. And that's what I love so much about homeopathy, because we live and breathe it, right? It changes us as individuals. You know, it gives us, it enables us to connect with people. It's very difficult sometimes to put into words, but you know, there's that English phrase, I get it. And that's what it is. You know, when somebody is sick, you get it, right? You feel it, you empathize, there's compassion there, there's love. And it's not something that we build up. It happens. It's part of that whole doctor-patient relationship, isn't it?
That's right. And isn't it lovely when your patients say to you, isn't it, oh, it's such a relief to speak to somebody that can actually hear me, that can actually not criticize, you know, that understands really weird symptoms, or, you know, just we really have to listen.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and I think at the end of, at the end of some sessions, when patients just say that, oh, just talking to you has kind of lifted this burden off of me. I think that's the best way to, end a session. You actually feel that you have connected with somebody, and you were able to hear them.
You're absolutely spot on. 50% of the treatment, or maybe in other parts of the world, the word cure, I smile at Mary as I say that, but 50% of the cure is actually in letting people share what they're going through, you know, and for us to listen. It's so important. I mean, I know that Anthony, Dr. Anthony, you get this 100% because of the way that you work as well with functional medicine as well as homeopathy, and it's so important, isn't it, just to listen. You know, the unprejudiced observer, as Dr. Hahnemann so aptly said.
And isn't it about being real? Like today, there seems to be so much put-ons or so many things where you have to come from a certain perspective, and homeopathy is about being real and hearing and getting down or up to the level that the patient is at, so that they can relate to you and you can relate to them, and that's where the spark happens and the magic happens. And well, that's why I'm in it. It's to get that spark. That, besides sparking the patient, that's what sparks me. That's what and Varsha, I think you're going to agree. You know, you can have a hard day at work, and then you get that spark at the end of the day, and you feel like you can run another 100 miles as you do this. That thing comes over.
Yes. So funny enough, my husband, he often teases me that, I'm going to, pass away whenever, but you are going to live 100 years, because it seems like, something is giving you extra energy, and, your work is like, it's like fuel to your life.
That's it.
And, it doesn't make you tired, but it gives you more energy, it seems. So, he kind of understands it now, because I've been with him for so long, and he sees how the process is and how it affects me personally. So yeah, he's teasing me all the time with this, that you're going to be working till the last day of your life. I'm like, yes, that is true.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
hope
It's
so.
very
I
true.
hope so. Fingers
I mean, it
crossed.
goes even one step further. If I'm in the supermarket, I'm finding that I'm just, you know, doing this observational thing that becomes part and parcel of who we are. And you're thinking, okay, that person's a pulsatilla, that person's an ignatia, that's a nux vomica. So you know how to adapt and how to talk to people. You know, it's actually quite useful in life, to be honest, because you can then resonate with somebody, and you can approach them according to their type, you know, dare I say constitution, because that's a bit more difficult to achieve, but, you know, generally. But hey, on to something very, very important, which is the fact that Homeopathy 24/7 founder, Mary Greensmith, is really doing well. And it's, for those who aren't aware, Homeopathy 24/7 is an online service for anybody around the world to get in touch with a homeopath. But there's actually much, much more than that. So I'm going to pass over to Mary Greensmith. And I must say, she has a team of 68 qualified, registered homeopathic doctors and practitioners around the world. It's a huge team who are available 24/7. So, hey, the give is in the name, right? Homeopathy 24/7. But if anyone's in any distress or they need a practitioner or a doctor, rather, to get in touch for advice, they're able to pick up the phone, they're able to email. But Mary, over to you, because you are the founder, and fantastic. Indeed, it is.
Yeah, it's been the most amazing journey, and I'm so privileged to be working with such amazing people around the world. And of course, Homeopathy 24/7 came about because of COVID, because suddenly I was inundated, and I had been looking for homeopaths perhaps in Australia who could look after my clients when I was sleeping, and so. But we started in 2020, so we're well into our 4th year now, and we have got an amazing team of homeopaths. We have a website, homeopathy247.com, where you can go and you can immediately set up a chat and connect with a homeopath who will take you for an acute consultation there and then. If it's something more chronic, more complex, they will book you in when we have a little bit more time. But it's more, as you said, it's more than that. Not only do we have 68 homeopaths on our team around the world, we also have been building a huge community, which is the opportunity for people to come and talk about homeopathy. And of course, anybody who has entered this world soon gets fixated with, okay, there must be a remedy that can help with this, there must be something. And we are so set in helping people learn how to use homeopathy around the world, because you need help sometimes. You need to know where to learn, you need to know what to look for. And obviously, by bringing together such a big team of homeopaths, we have been able to create a huge amount of information. So we've got lots of free homeopathic ebooks available. We've got lots of online homeopathic courses. We have webinars, live webinars. We have a podcast, Homeopathy 24/7. So there are lots of different ways for you to connect. We have over 20 Facebook groups where we have smaller teams of homeopaths working in specific niches. And it's just such a great way to connect with somebody who speaks your language.
I have to say something here, Mary, which is that that not a large chunk, a fair few homeopaths from your team have been on my Homeopathy Health Show. And they've all said the same thing, which is the support and the training and just you being there has absolutely been a game changer for them and life changing. And I'm sure, our honored guests, Dr. Anthony and Dr. Varsha, will agree, because that's kudos to you, because I think that's so important. So it's not just for the listeners specifically, I'm saying it's not just a platform. The homeopaths are supported in a very highly professional way and manner, and they're given all the tools that they need to be able to help you, or to be able to help the patient ultimately. And that's so important. So congratulations on that, because it takes a great mind to set something up like this, but also someone with real love and passion for the service that they're giving to people, to be able to then follow through with the continuous support. I just wanted to put that out there.
Oh, that's really kind and generous of you, Atik. Thank you. I think it is. I mean, my passion is we need more homeopaths doing more homeopathy, helping more people around the world. And if a homeopath, needs help with setting up the tech side of it, let's sort that. If a homeopath needs help with certain ways of prescribing, let's sort that. We've got enough experts around there to help. And so we work as a team. We really do enjoy the teamwork. And I think that's what makes us
Mm.
special.
So
I
I'm
think it's completely. I would just like to add that it's absolutely Mary's brainchild, and such a brilliant setup. And the way I think she deals with everybody, everybody feels included, and everybody feels supported. Like somebody like me, I would be very candid here. I was practicing for a long time, and I wasn't satisfied with my practice when I joined Mary. But the way she mentored me, it was a game changer for me. And I started when the team started, and I'm sticking by until now because I just love working with her and her setup and her team, and just having people to call my own team, because it is very individualized kind of a work. As homeopaths, we are very solitary creatures in general. But just to belong to a team and have that camaraderie, I think it's brilliant. I mean, I really enjoy it personally.
wonderful.
Mary, if I can make a comment there, I mean, I'll do a ditto on what Varsha said, but for me, what was the game changer, also plodding along in the way that we were doing homeopathy, we were successful doing our thing, but when COVID hit and all those unknowns or uncertainties or being just like locked into your physical place, that type of thing. And then you came with this really idea which like blew our minds. Okay, wow, on how can you do a virtual consultation? So
Yes,
it moved our brain power or our expectations, and it just opened it up. And
yes, yes,
as we stumble along the way, growing into this new way of doing things, Mary, you were like, I don't know, light years ahead, planning it, seeing
yes,
where we were going to be struggling, and you gave the solutions. And that's how I think, what you said, 68 of us are all in the wake of 24/7. And that's what drives and keeps me going, and I might think, oh well, listen, we've arrived now, we've got the virtual thing going, but next month or next year there's going to be those kinks in the road again. You're not just a homeopath, you've got this ability to foresee these things, and the answers are able to come through to you there. So that is a really great part of doing it.
yes,
And if I can, I just hog it a little bit longer and say, from the perspective of the patient, yes, we as homeopaths get down to the level and talk with them, but where Homeopathy 24/7 has really gone further is we as homeopaths are getting training, okay, but we are taking that training to the patients so they have more access to homeopathy than ever before. So it's so much more familiar. And I'll use the example, maybe it's a bit of a dirty example, but if you can go and talk to most people and you'll say, oh, you've got that infection, what would you need to get? They'd go, I just need to get an antibiotic. They don't even think about it. That has been ingrained into them from when they were small, growing up. And what we are doing now by having this platform access to the people is they are getting familiar with homeopathic ways. So, maybe in the future someone's going to say, well, you've got an infection, what you're going to do? And they're going to say, well, a belladonna or a Hep Self. It's going to come like that.
Mm.
And then to take that further, when we look at Herring's law of cure or regressive vicariation, where we really are amping up the body's ability to heal, they're going to understand those concepts of sometimes there has to be an aggravation or there
yes,
has to be a bit of a wait before the healing comes. Because that's something that is very new or that people struggle with. Normally they want the cause and effect. Oh, I take the medicine and I feel better straight away.
yeah.
And when we're teaching them with the homeopathy, they are getting it because there are so many more touches because they've got the access to 247.
You've said something very pertinent there, actually, which is to do with the fact that you gave this very, very apt example of, the culture and antibiotics if you have an infection. And most people know that. It's ingrained, like you so rightly said. But it's so important that these platforms, because homeopaths can only treat so many patients, right, individually. But collectively, you can do great things. And so let's take Homeopathy 24/7 as an example. 24/7 throughout the year, is a big deal, right? And you can talk to anybody. You can pick up the phone, and there's a 99.9% chance you'll be able to get the help that you need. And that's the training, isn't it? Because if we look at the next decade, let's say, certainly, this will become part of the norm as education goes out and as people become more empowered. They'll feel comfortable. Well, okay, I could run to the pharmacy, or let me try this because I think this is easier, and I just have to pick up the phone, and there's going to be somebody who's going to talk to me, who's going to actually listen to me to find out exactly what the problem is, rather than say, okay, it's ABC, go for this, here's broad spectrum antibiotics and off you go, see you later. So I think that's really, really important. So yeah.
And
I
of
would want to
course,
add here something. I'm so sorry I
it's right.
interrupted you, but I really want to add something here that Dr. Adik, I don't know if you're following the Facebook work that Mary has, she's having us do, but there is an actual dialogue in those amongst that community now.
Mm.
They are reading, they are doing courses. I mean, very frankly, it was difficult for me to at first even come to terms with it that people would could use homeopathy by themselves.
Mm.
But she had that vision that we should empower the people to use it by themselves rather than just saying that, get to a homeopath or consult a homeopath, and that's the way to go. And abroad, people are actually studying, the remedies, the symptoms, the indications, and they're able to use it for common, simple conditions. And the dialogue that is there in these groups, it's very learned. It's not like people are not aware of things or homeopathic principles. They are actually now, I mean, at least I think 70 to 80% of people in our communities there, they are very, very aware people now, and we don't have to tell them the basics that we have to a newcomer who's just, a
Mm.
novice who's just starting with homeopathy. So that is something that's, I think, a bigger achievement than the anything else. Setup of the team, etc. Everything is great, but the dialogue that she has started, it's commendable.
Oh,
Hey, Mary,
Varsha.
do you remember that program, This Is Your Life, from the 80s? Do you remember with the red
I,
book?
I do.
I was just thinking of that.
But
This is your life. I should have a red book, shouldn't I?
okay,
There you
it
go.
would. There we go. Thank you. The thing is that at the age of 21, I moved to a really remote little tiny small holding in North Scotland to be self-sufficient. To me, I needed to be able to look after myself. I didn't want to be reliant on, big firms providing things. And, when COVID hit, I was actually sailing around the Med. I had a full-blown business, homeopathic business online already. So I was already there. But what I realized was if we were to set up a system where you could talk to a homeopath, you needed to have the remedies in your house ready. And the only way I can get you to have a kit in your house is to start teaching you why you should have a kit in your house. For me, homeopathy is about taking back responsibility of your life, your health, your well-being. And I live on a tiny little island now, a little bit bigger than the boat, but it is a tiny little island where we can't be reliant on everything else. And to me, homeopathy is a lifestyle choice. It's not just about one thing. It's about every aspect of how you talk to people, how you interact, what you expect, and understanding what you are putting in your body. Because that is, we know the more we do homeopathy, the more we know that things are changing. Health is changing generally because food is changing, medicine is changing, everything's changing around us. And what are we in control of, that goes into our body? It's very scary.
There's something really brilliant, and I don't want to embarrass you, Mary, because I know we had this conversation when you were on the Homeopathy Health Show, but I was just thinking how just surreal almost this is, that living on a boat, running a clinic 24/7, and then living on an island and running homeopathy 24/7, it just doesn't compute. But it's so possible. It just shows you it's the simplicity of everything, right?
Yeah.
Rather than make it about the brightest lights and the biggest banner, and it's never about that. It's very inspiring, right? I mean, Dr. Varsha, Dr. Anthony, isn't it? It's just so, I don't know what to say. It's so brilliant.
I'm very,
I can
very
say
jealous
this.
of her. I'm very
Yeah,
jealous of her. That she
you
leads
know
this
why it works
beautiful
so.
life.
You know why it works so well, Achik, is because when you're reaching these people, you're not coming from the perspective of I'm the be all and end all, and you come ask me for the answer. You're making them feel so comfortable. So Mary gets some remedies into their home. Now they start to get so comfortable using them, then all the fears start to float away of, can I ask this question? And they start to be more real. And you get deeper into the psyche and what is going on with them. And, after a couple of months, they want to teach you, hey, I had that cough and I took Drosera, and their personality starts to come out and they start to be able to express more of themselves instead of being suppressed in whatever ways society has been suppressing them. They find an outlet, and especially I see it with the moms. The moms are very, especially in the US. I think they're like, what they talk about. A mom will protect their child or their young with their life. And these moms are seeing what you said, Mary, with the food that is intoxicating us, with whatever the noxious chemical is, okay? And the moms are wanting to go natural, but they felt very destabilized or very unsure on how to do it. And this homeopathy is giving them a way to do it with the remedies, but they are finding something in themselves that they are feeling, I don't want to say important, but they're feeling empowered. Okay,
Yeah.
I can do this to my child. Or I saw he was getting sick every 3 months, and now we're doing this, and he's strong, or his learning skills have improved, or whatever it is, and that just drives them, and they all are really wanting to reach for the sky for their family's health. It's wonderful.
It's interesting, isn't it, that a decade ago, you talk about chemicals, and it was almost, you could say, okay, let's say 2 decades ago, it was very taboo almost, but it doesn't have to be, because it's our life. They're our children. Do I want to give my children food which is full of chemicals? I'm not ashamed of talking about that, because it's bad for your health.
Yeah.
They can potentially kill you, take your life. Who would want that? So there's certain instances, especially now, where you can't stay quiet about these things, Why would you want to stay quiet when you have another option, right? It's so important, isn't it? The food that we have is it's massively processed, and there's so many different chemicals that are used that are causing so many different conditions. So this is the time. Now is the time to question everything. And why not? Because we are ultimately, at the end of the day, like we very well realized in the pandemic, are responsible for ourselves.
Yeah.
Nobody can help you, right?
Yes.
And we are in the time of the internet, where we can connect with other like-minded people, and we can research and find out, so that we do have a choice, because knowledge gives us a choice. And what I'm saying is, when you're ready, know that you have a choice in everything.
Yes.
That's what life's about now, isn't it? Is being able to empower people to make their own choices about how they want to live their life.
Dr. Vash,
Yes.
you were going to say something, I think.
No, not at all. I thought you were going to ask me a question.
I'm just going to ask Mary, actually, that or all of you. So you obviously have you're available as well online, of course, on the platform.
Yes.
But how ingenious, isn't it? Because now, as homeopaths, we all have patients abroad, right? All of us do. I've never met anyone recently who doesn't, and it's because of technology, because of online facilities such as this, even. And it's so nice, isn't it? Because you can help so many more people. And I was just going to ask Mary, if somebody does want to get in contact with a homeopath, what's the process? I know it's a very simple process, but it's better coming from you.
Yes, absolutely. Go to homeopathy247.com. You will find there the ability to chat with a homeopath straight away. But also on that website, you will see lots of different resources. So we have got on there the team, so you can actually go through and connect with a specific homeopaths if you want to do that. We also have got specialist teams. So they have also created Facebook groups where you can go on and ask questions and learn more with a set team of homeopaths. There are lots of different learning resources for you. So you decide what you're most comfortable with. It is available as an app as well. We have got a couple of homeopathic apps on the phone so that you have got a repertoire available if you're off camping, if you're doing something. It downloads onto your phone when you set it up, so you don't even need internet, and you've got access to books. It just works. Because I know, because I've lived on a boat and I need a backup for everything. So, I need resources to be available as you need them. And the thing is, because we're an approachable team who works together, it's easy to request. What I really love are your live webinars, or what I really love are your printouts, so that I can have it available when I want it. But what people really love is the ability to connect with a homeopath when the chips are down, the stress is up, and you can't find a remedy. And I know, because I've called Homeopathy 24/7 myself, as has a few homeopaths who really needed help when the pressure was up. And that is just brilliant.
Wonderful. It's been an absolute delight to have you all here. I don't know if you want to share anything else before we sort of end this conversation. Certainly.
I just would want to say that even as a homeopath myself, I do not treat my own kids. So, because it is that pressure situation when you just don't want to take that added responsibility of, whatever symptoms they are going through. So, there is always that support that you are looking for, even as a homeopath is what I'm saying. Even as a homeopath with so much of experience, I just try to give that, outsource that responsibility in that time of pressure to somebody else so that they can take responsibility and I can just be the mother in that moment. Yeah.
Dr. Anthony.
I think I was thinking, like, before we came online, it was like we had our little practices, and we were, you could be busy or you could maybe be struggling, and then you go online and you've got more patients than you know what to do with. It's like, where did all these patients come from? It just shows me that since COVID, the need for homeopathy has just sprung up. People are taking a double look at the conventional medicines, and they're looking to go the route that is, in their heart, what is really going to work for them, or that maybe they've been disillusioned by that. They've got another avenue to follow,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
I really think that you can, and I'm not just talking about health-wise in respect to the remedies, but by following homeopathy, and the homeopaths know this, by uplifting your constitution, you would become open to many other opportunities in your life, maybe in your business, maybe, yes, obviously in your health, but in your energy, in your ability to see things. So it's not just we're looking at your health, the eczema on your skin or the constipation. It works right into your emotions and your ability to perceive things. And that is something that people sometimes would have not a problem with, but like, how would you take these little white pills and it would change your perceptions? But it really does. It's a real holistic way of treating. And you actually have to go through it first. You have to be a patient and you have to experience that before you be like, yeah, I know what he's talking about, because it can be so abstract. And then the last thing, sometimes that healing can take a year. And people are too familiar with, oh, I have a headache, I take a pill, and 15 minutes later the headache's gone. It's a long healing, but if you have a look at that illness, that's been coming a long time. So it's turning the tide on that and reversing that. Yes, it can take a bit of time, but really the results are out of this world.
And it's really easy for us actually as a team to be saying, would you like something to help your headache today? Or do you want something that's going to mean that you don't get headaches again?
Yeah.
which is preferable, you know.
Yeah.
So that's what we're talking about, and I think that's what was perhaps missing before, was the ability to realize that homeopathy was more than getting rid of the headache today. There's a lot more to it. And just to show that, I just want to say that thank you for everybody who follows us on Homeopathy 24/7, because we have got now over 70,000 people in our groups. We are,
Wow.
you know, becoming a huge community. And if you fancy it, just have a look for Homeopathy 24/7. Have a look for Ask a Homeopath if you're on Facebook. And if you're a homeopath thinking, what a brilliant team, I want to be part of this, just connect with us from the website. We'd love to hear from you.
That's so wonderful. Hey, listen, we should do this again, okay, in the new year, right? It'd be nice. But until then, it's been an absolute honor to have you on. So, in no particular order, but my dear friend, Dr. Anthony de Pontes, thank you so much. And you're looking radiant. So happy for you. Brilliant. My new friend, Dr. Varsha M
Thank you.
Khurana, thank you so much for sharing the time. I know it's evening time for you as well in India, in Delhi. And of course, the one and only, this is your live version of Mary Greensmith. Thank you for everything
Good
that you
stuff,
do and you
Mary.
continue to do. Who knows how many thousands of lives you've changed. So, you know, that's just beautiful. So thank you so much for coming on.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
All
you for
right.
having us.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye
Dr.
bye. I'll
God
talk
bless
to you
you.
later.
Bye.